LSU outside linebacker Michael Divinity and defensive ends Glen, Logan, and Rashard Lawrence all practiced in pads on Tuesday, which is a great sign as the Tigers look to get healthier for the Florida game this Saturday. Wide receiver Terrace Marshall, who practiced on Monday for the first time since foot surgery 2 weeks ago, was not at practice. LSU, coming off of a dominant 42-6 win versus Utah State, will face number 7 Florida in Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. Todd Grantham, who calls the plays defensively for the Gators, was talking about this LSU offense.
A little different is they have conversions within the play. They can convert routes relative to your leverage and things like that. The quarterback's reads are a little more developed than last week. So, that part of it's a challenge. So they're kind of changing as the play goes on, whereas last week the changes occurred more pre-snap. And, both offenses are effective, but this one is a little more challenging from the standpoint of the passing game. And you have an effective quarterback that knows where to throw the ball, and you got good skill guys, so we got to play well.
WWGD, what will Grantham do? It is a question that we will explore coming up at 7:15, and the answers may shock you. I think that you can expect a different game plan out of Grantham than what you've seen in the past.
One more from Grantham talking about the change in offensive philosophy here from last year to this year on LSU.
Yeah, I think their offense as a whole is executing well, meaning that the line's doing a good job in protection. He feels pretty clean in the pocket. You got some really talented receivers that can make plays. He's a very competitive guy, understands where to throw the ball, does a really good job of staying in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield on his target, and he can go to the second and third progression, which makes it a challenging when a quarterback can do that.
Media day for Orgeron, SEC teleconference this morning, post-practice presser this afternoon, and then the radio show tonight from TJ Ribbs. On Tuesday morning, Joe Burrow was back in second place behind Tua Tagovailoa in the latest Heisman Trophy odds over at Betonline.ag. Has Tua as the favorite, but Burrow at 3-1, nipping at his heels. The call on next Saturday's LSU-Mississippi State game has been put in a holding. The Southeastern Conference on Monday announced a 6-day hold on kickoff time and TV plans for the October 19th play date between the Tigers and Bulldogs in Starkville. That means the TV plans for LSU State won't be announced until Sunday. Kickoff will be either at 11 a.m. on ESPN, 2:30 on CBS, or 5 o'clock Central on ESPN. Our friend Amy Just down at New Orleans, the Times-Picayune, NOLA.com had it first. Demario Davis won his appeal of the uniform violation for wearing the headband inscribed with the words, "Man of God." Davis said he wasn't aware that it was a violation after wearing the headband the first 3 weeks of the season. In a social media post on Tuesday, Davis said that they've sold more than $30,000 worth of the headbands, with all of the proceeds going to St. Dominic Hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. Davis wrote on his Twitter account, "That means y'all have helped me turn 7,000 negative into almost 40,000 positive."
Yeah, great job by Demario Davis. Also, good on the NFL for realizing that it's probably not the best PR move to find a guy like Davis, a community member like Davis, $7,000 for wearing a headband alluding to God. Man, that was a bold choice to begin with.
Saints on their way to Jacksonville this Sunday to take on the Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, former LSU, New Orleans native, is the leading ball carrier for the Jaguars. He's toted it 95 times this season for 512 yards and only one touchdown in 5 games.
But don't look now. After the slow start, after the run where, getting caught from behind, et cetera, he's on pace for 1,600, right? I mean, it's kind of crazy. So Leonard Fournette kind of punching back against some of the early season declarations that us included made about him maybe just being done.
Sean Payton was talking about his defense, the Saints defense, and how he's seen them improve here in the first part of the season.
Well, look, I thought we defended the pass well. I thought we affected the quarterback. The one thing, I said this in the staff meeting this morning, if you just watch the game and you watch both quarterbacks, I thought we protected well offensively, and Teddy had time, and I felt on the other side of the ledger, I thought we affected Jameis enough and, quickened the clock in his head. So we went into the game understanding that, hey, the deep ball, the down-the-field throws, those are something that, that obviously can get you beat, and I thought we handled that element of the game really well.
My favorite Saints coaching news yesterday. Did you see the stories on how they had so much success against Dak and the Cowboys? They looked at Kellen Moore tape from Boise State, 07 through 11, and they figured out that he was using the same hand signals that he used at Boise State as the OC of the Dallas Cowboys. That's how good NFL coaches are. I mean, that's the kind of connections that they made, and so they were able to then carry that information over to the game to decipher what he was trying to call offensively. That's some next-level stuff. Kellen Moore wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for it. He's been kicking ass and doing great. He didn't realize he had left himself open a bit.
What about when you find that moment? Like the moment when you find out that they're using the same hand signals because of your film evaluation. Then you get to the game on Sunday night, they run something, use the hand signal, and you're right there to defend it.
I mean, I wonder, is that like a Dennis Allen moment? It kind of feels like probably like an assistant like pouring over. Yeah, some analyst pouring over.
Knocking on the door late at night.
Yeah,
Guess what I got? Guess what I got? The same hand signals from when he was in college.
Crazy, man. NFL coaches.
This is some great sound right here about the Atlanta Falcons defense. Deshaun Watson, Houston Texans quarterback, sliced up.
And the best part about this sound, there's no point in playing this beyond just making fun of the Falcons.
100%.
There's no attached relevant story or anything. This just gives you an idea of how bad things are in Atlanta.
So Watson last Sunday threw for 426 and 5 touchdowns versus the Atlanta defense. He said this about Dan Quinn's crew afterwards.
Yeah, I like playing the Falcons, man. They real friendly on defense. They let you do what you want to do. I think one play they actually just spread out and let us run straight through the middle. I was like, y'all don't want to get tighter? They was like, nah, we're going to stay wide. And I was like, okay. You know, they got one of those defenses where you can score down the middle, you can score wide, or you can score down the seams. You pretty much can do whatever you want to against them. Actually, at one point in the game, I started telling people in the crowd to just come here. You know what I'm saying? Whoever want to run routes against the Falcons, I just told them to go wide. You know, just do whatever. Really, because they can't stop it.
I mean, the best part about this is, like, Deshaun Watson's not a trash talker. and it's almost like he's not even talking trash. He's just it doesn't even feel malicious. He's just kind of breaking down how easy it was to score. Yeah, do whatever he wanted. It
pulling people out of the crowd.
With the start of what's going on and just how bad it all looks, especially that it's defensively so terrible. It's supposed to be Dan Quinn's. That's supposed to be his thing. I mean, it feels like the Dan Quinn era is done. But then even beyond that, like you said before the show, Dimitroff. I'm guessing that wholesale organizational change is coming to Atlanta.
I was here before the show.
Yeah. No, yes. To be clear, Jordy was not late. He was here very on time, just not on time for the actual show.
Chicago Bulls will host the New Orleans Pelicans tonight for preseason game number 2. The Pelicans opened Monday night with a 133-109 win versus the Hawks. Zion played 28 minutes, had 16 points and 3 blocks. Tip time, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Major League Baseball with their second victory in 2 days over one of baseball's best pitchers. The Tampa Bay Rays have forced a Game 5 versus Houston. Tampa Bay won Game 4, 4-1 on Tuesday night. Back to Minute Maid Park on Thursday for Game 5 and a pair of deciding games today. Atlanta will host the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 5 at 4 o'clock. And out in Los Angeles, the Washington Nationals, Steven Strasburg, gets the start for the Nats versus the Dodgers at 7:30.
Musa, give me 3 Game 5 predictions. Who advances?
Give me chalk. Dodgers, Braves, and Astros.
Oh, wow. There's going to be so many sad Astro fans if they lose this.
All right, those are your headlines here on Off the Bench. We will talk to Booger McFarland in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll also talk to Brody Miller in the 8 o'clock hour. Good morning, Nate.
Congratulations to Jerome Newchurch of Baton Rouge. Jerome is our Week 6 winner in the 2019 Twin Peaks Football Pick'em Contest and wins a $50 Twin Peaks gift card. Don't forget to make your picks for Week 7 and play the 2019 Twin Peaks Football Pick'em today at 1045ESPN.com.
I think we got had.
I'm washing my hands of this.
No, this is me.
I'm washing my hands of this. Y'all came in here talking about this Deshaun Watson audio.
I think we got by the internet. I got by the internet.
Deshaun Watson didn't really say that.
Rough start for your boy.
Yeah.
I do have an LSU hype video that we will play next that will get you going. Come back with us on Off the Bench.